Oh, fuck. Let's do this. Yo, welcome to the No Solution. Oh, well, shit. Fucking solutions, not tips. We figuring this shit the fuck out. You know,
No solutions.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's Esau's fucking name to his podcast, man. That being said, look, we've got Hunter Growing Life. I've got Jamarcus Best in here with me. Hunter started a business some moons ago. Been rocking and rolling, doing his own thing. It's a good friend of mine. You know, I'm not a friendly person, but I learned how to be friends. And over time, I normally become more accustomed to opening up to people. We're going to get personal. We're going to get, motivational. We're going to go a few different places. I thank you for stopping by. He's also one of our kennel partners as well. He has dogs, and I think he deserved the opportunity to be a part of, something bigger than the dogs he has. So I wanted to bring him on board. Hunter, what is the grind life?
Man, it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
One thing a lot of people tied to is fitness. A good friend of mine, Josh Wise, has a saying called "It's bigger than fitness." It got tied into fitness because that's what I was known for in college when I created the brand. But I knew it could be bigger than that and could touch more people that couldn't really relate to fitness.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, health is wealth, so it's always going to tie back to fitness. So to enjoy your lifestyle, you got to be healthy. So
there you go.
I can understand why people keep wanting to tie it to it, but man, it's a lifestyle. Every day is a grind, no matter what you're doing.
And I'll be honest with you, man. Hunter called me FaceTime one night. I think I was walking to 7-Eleven, and then he asked me, he says, "Yo, what do you think about?" And I thought it was ridiculous. And I think I told you use Lil Wayne song or something else. Mm-hmm. But I didn't know enough about Hunter, and this is the point. I want to always keep things as clear as possible, because even when in our thoughts, I say this all the time. Respect the man trying, because if the man's trying, he's going to figure it out. And my thoughts whatever I'm thinking or I wasn't so sure about, I didn't know him well enough. We hadn't even had a lot of conversation. This guy's already calling me, asking about my opinion on his business I had no clue about, but I appreciate that and I respect that. So, different times we might jump ahead and start judging somebody based on the thing that we like. That sounds stupid. But at the end of the day, if he's got the balls or even confidence, or even say, you know what, I don't know if I'm so sure about this thing. Let me call somebody who we met a couple times. This motherfucker's certain as hell. Let me get his views. I don't want to shoot any man down because I know what it's like to be shot down, but I can't be killed. So when they try to shoot me, they shooting and missing, to say the least. So I'll be very clear in saying I thought it was ridiculous. Because I'm like, how he's going to put this, what is a GL and a grind light? That makes no sense. But I'm super logical. And, I start learning a little bit more about Hunter. And the one thing I think that people connect to, and that I learned, that I connected to, was this man is a team player. And I don't know if you guys have got team players as friends or people who are truly supportive of you and that will be there no matter what. The one thing that touched me about him was, and I want you to go into this a little bit, is it's a story of his dad and the patience he has with his dad. And I was like, that right there tells you the man's got fortitude and some things that a lot of us don't have. I know I don't have it. So tell me a little bit about that, and we're going to go a few different places. But as I said, I respect the man, learned about the man, appreciate the man, and I'm grateful to have him as a friend and a person in my life.
Man, one thing I can say, it's been a roller coaster ride with that journey. For the people that do know me, that's been there since day one, they know everything I've been through. For the people that don't know me, my pops was in a car wreck 2017. I was in my car wreck 2016. Ran into a back of a Mack truck going 80 miles per hour. The truck wouldn't pass code. It's reflector lights usually, so...
Yeah, that triangle that's on the back?
Mm-hmm. They were dirty, so his lights were beaming on it and it wasn't reflecting. So by the time he knew what was going on, he was already in the back of it.
That was your dad?
Yes, sir. So the jaw's alive, caraflighted, front dashboard collapsed on both femurs. Man, he was. The crazy thing is, I was on the phone with him 30 minutes before he got in the car wreck.
Man, I bet that fuck with you.
Definitely did, man. I got a phone call from his fiance at the time. He had just got engaged 2 days before the wreck.
Ooh.
Calling me, screaming, crying, talking about she was on the phone with my dad, and it just went silent. And she heard somebody asking him like a weird question. It was something like, "Sir, are you okay? Are you alive?" Like something weird. And I'm thinking, I was just on the phone with him. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I've been there before.
So I'm coming from SFA. I'm coming in town to look for apartments and stuff because I was going to move back home.
Yeah.
So I'm calling my mama like, hey, I need you to call people. I'm driving. Like, service is already bad coming from Nac to Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm flying. My mom's like, I need you to slow down before you get hurt. The cops are going to follow me all the way to the hospital. Like, I'm not stopping. So, man, get there. He was in a induced coma for 15 days. He was in the hospital for 185 days.
Yeah, that's a long time, people. And I'm gonna have you, if you got some of those photos, I'm gonna drop them in on this thing so they can see what took place and how bad it was. I know I've seen it. You posted and shared parts of that story. 185 days, and you know, what's his life like? What was his life like before, and you know, what's his life like now?
Complete 180, man. Pops was everybody's Superman. You know, that person that everybody came to would ask for help. You know,
Yeah.
Pops knew everybody, connected. And that's something I always learned growing up. My mom always said, "You're just like your daddy."
Yeah.
Know anybody, I got a connection to anything. That's the exact same way he was. And you go from being everybody's Superman to being hopeless. You feel like nobody needs you.
Yeah.
So it's just, he had scattered brain damage in the wreck. So he remembers things you really don't expect him to remember. And it's like the little things, like when we were out yesterday helping a friend of ours, he was over there trying to work with the strap.
Yeah.
And he was getting frustrated. I heard him talking. He was cussing. He's like, "David, I can't, like, what's going on?"
Yeah.
He was like, "Hunter, I can't do it." And I'm looking at him, I'm like, this, first of all, it's not a strap. No, I don't even know how to work this strap. This ain't a normal strap we're used to working. So I said, it's okay. You're out here. You're getting your hands involved. You're being active. We're keeping you busy.
Yeah.
I just moved my dad back in. He had a house in Anna. I made a decision. I was like, man, you shouldn't have to worry about bills and responsibility. You know, you just need to worry about daily life tasks, getting up, taking the dogs out, being active, you know, not worrying, oh, how am I going to pay this light bill? How am I going to keep the water on? Stuff like that. So I moved him back in around Thanksgiving, and I mean, he's doing good, man. The hardest thing is he just had the sleeve surgery on his stomach.
Yeah.
So trying to keep him eating the right things. He hardly eats. Order him some food, he'll take a bite. I'm full.
Yeah.
And just the muscle imbalances. I mean, it's a complete headache. But he's trying, and that's the biggest thing. When a man wants to try, that means he has vision, a goal, and he's determined.
Yeah,
So
he's still here for a reason, man. And like I said, I don't think we could even put into words, which is why I'm definitely gonna make sure I drop a photo or so on this thing, so you can really get a feeling of how surreal I'd imagine for you to see a dad like that, and how fucked up it is, to be clear, to watch somebody go from 0 to 100 in the exact wrong direction, and not being in control. I mean, you can't control what happened.
Right, and one thing I always kept saying, you know, I mean, it's tough. You really don't expect to take care of your parents till, like, you're set in life. And it does the complete circle of life, you know.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting to be 22, 23 dealing with all that. And the sad thing is, with life, whatever happens in your life is something dramatic and changes everything. Life keeps going. Life don't stop. Them bills keep going. Them credit, like, they're calling, hey, I need money. This dude's on his deathbed. Well, his bills due. He had just fixed his credit. He got up to like a 700 and then.
Yeah, right back to zero.
So,
got no income.
And my biggest thing is, a lot of people don't have their father, especially us black people. and that relationship there is not there. So that's one thing I always cherished. We have our ups and downs. We have our fights. We might not talk for a little bit, but at the end of the day, you gotta let that go.
What would you say is the biggest impact your dad had on your life up until this point, and even after the fact?
Definitely hard work. That's one thing that man did, was work. And that was one thing I always told him while through recovery through all this. My goal is to make sure you enjoy life once we overcome this.
Yeah.
Because like you said, he's still here. He has a purpose. God didn't keep you here after that wreck for no reason.
Yeah, I always tell people, if God didn't need you, you wouldn't be here.
Right. So there's a reason you're still there. I tell him that daily time. I mean, I'm going to have a kid sooner or later.
Yeah.
Turn 28 on Thursday. I'm almost 30. Let your motivation be a grandpa. You're going to watch me raise a kid. Like, let that be your motivation, you know? You want to travel? Okay, that's your motivation. Let's get you comfortable enough to where your body's not in pain so you can go somewhere.
Yeah, because, you know, if you watch the man walk, that wreck really adjusted his movement patterns in a way where I understand the economics at the highest level, and it's it's scary to watch, because all the way in which he even takes a step is like everything's compensating for him to get up and get down and not in the right ways.
Correct. It's scary watching him get in that truck. I feel like that ACL goes left any moment, and he ain't got the best knees at all.
Man, it didn't try, and it really worries me just being around him. But he's a beautiful soul, super great mannerisms. You know, it's a reflection of who you are, seeing your dad, and so it always touches me a little bit when I see you guys come in contact. And even when you told Chris was like, "Yo," he was like, "Nah, we stay together." You know, he was like, "Okay."
No, that's my right hand. That's why I moved him in, man. Like, just how I am with them dogs, that's how I am with Pops. Like, Pops is not going nowhere, you know. He's popping out with me all this week. He go to the gym with me. Anything I can take him, he's going. If I could put him on the road and he was in a health hazard, he'd be on the road with me. He'll have my 6. Like,
there we go,
I ain't worried about none of that.
So, what was it like, and what made you want to start a, be an entrepreneur? What made you start the Grind Life? Like, why did you feel you had to do that? I know you do security work too, but let's start with the thing that really people identify with you specifically.
Man, so one thing that used to always get me first of all, I didn't have my first job until football season was over senior year. And that was junior year. Let me take that back. That's when I tore my shoulder junior year. I had surgery. And then my dad was kind of like, after the offers started disappearing, he was kind of like, "It's time to go get a job, buddy. You know, we don't know what's finna happen." So I'm just like, damn, a job. Okay, you know. Bet. It was just football. And after working all the little jobs and everything, it was just being told what to do. You know, I gotta respect you for you to talk to me like you're somebody.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
Right. Yeah. That's the whole reason I didn't even think military. I was like, nah, they
definitely ain't gonna work.
This ain't gonna work. So, like, there was only like 2 or 3 coaches that let talk to me crazy growing up just because I respected you. Yeah. You gotta talk to me crazy because I'm hard-headed. And so, after the little jobs here and there going to college, you know, I did the little GNC job just because I was in fitness. It made sense, commission. I knew everybody, so I knew how to make sales. So I was like, cool, this will work out. But when I came home, lost all that weight, came back to school, people kept asking, can you help me? Can you help me? I'm in college, I'm broke, I need to make money. So I was like, I guess this is my side hustle. And so, like you said, I threw parties, so I made money like that. I cooked, I sold plates, made money like that. And I was doing the security stuff. So I was just like, it's a lot of income for a college kid.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm surviving out here off of all this stuff. Bigger audience in the city. And I already knew everybody because I threw parties in high school.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, I knew all the right people to do that. So I still worked jobs and stuff, but it was like being told what to do or, you know, get off your phone, do this, do that. I'm just like, I don't need this job. Like once I leave here, I'm finna go I'm making money right now while being here.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, it's a blessing and it's a curse. Because having that mindset is like my back will never be against the wall. You know?
Ever.
I told myself I would never work in a food place. Nothing against them people. I like to eat. So I'm going to be at the restaurant eating. I ain't never going to lose no weight. So I was like, could never work there. And then just doing retail and stuff like that, people have attitudes. They're disrespectful.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I couldn't get down with a couple times. I was just like, let me stop all this. I'm an entrepreneur.
Yeah. And so you embrace your destiny then?
Pretty much. So, I mean, I got my degree in Kennel. I mean, definitely still have the dream of owning a gym, but that's kind of I just want to say not like a washed up.
No, it's washed up.
It's washed up.
The world don't need another trainer, don't need another gym.
Correct.
Marcus here was going to do that years ago. He was like, I'm about to become personal trainer. I'm like, listen, bro. The world does not need, it needs better solutions, better guidance, better infrastructures, better patient outcomes. But you know, no disrespect to any personal trainer. I've trained and taught and worked with a lot of people to lose weight, various things, but it just, you know, is what he's saying, pain and gain.
Right. And the real ones last. The real ones last. The frauds get washed out. So.
And that's in anything though. That's
correct.
It ain't even personal training, whether it's tech or selling, whatever. If you're not doing it every day, and if you don't love it, and if you don't have a dream for it, you're gonna get washed up and tired of doing whatever it is you're doing. Taking pictures. There's a lot of people who own, you know, expensive cameras, but they don't want to do no. Now you got to get in Photoshop. Now you got to go edit in Premiere Pro. They're like, I thought I wanted to be a photographer, but I learned very quickly I'm not about that life, my guy.
You thought you got to have that passion and drive for it. It's not a fad. A lot of these things are a fad. You know, they're just gonna ride the wave, and then once it dies down, okay, what are we jumping on to next?
So would you say that it is your passion then to hustle, or is it your passion to, your passion people? Because a lot of times passion is something that you could direct. But the hustle in you is what keeps you going. So what is it, would you say your passion is, being that you do so much?
It's definitely the hustle and grind. I think I got that from my dad because, I mean, I watched him work crazy hours. Get off work, come coach Little League football. Come home, make sure there's food on the table. Go help somebody if somebody's calling. He ain't gonna tell you no. He gonna go help you, even though if he's dog tired. Get up and do it all over again.
Yeah, and trust me, that's one thing that drives all real men, in my opinion. I'm not saying you're a fake man if you're not, but you like you said, you play sports, right? So there's a level of competition that's in your soul, and you got to feed that dog every now and then.
Exactly.
And that dog leads your day. So for me, it's like I compete at a high level with myself,
right?
Because I don't give a shit what nobody else is doing, but I'm like, what all could I do today?
And that's one thing you can tell certain people in the gym. We got that dog in us.
Yeah.
Why are y'all doing this to me? Y'all don't play sports. We're ex-athletes. That athlete's still in us.
It is. He needs to be fed.
So, and like I was saying, what drives me is just definitely the hustle and grind. And it's kind of love-hate when it comes to, am I a people person? Everything I do involves people. Do people drain me? Yes.
It drains us all, man.
It drains us all. But do I love helping people? Do I love seeing people smile, inspiring people, motivating people? Most definitely.
John Paul DeJoria owns You Guys Drink Patron. Patron, he started Paul Metro, and he said in the Shark Tank episode, where you can go and reference this. That matter, I actually don't think it was that. It was something else I was watching. I study a lot of business people. But he said he lived through the 60s, and he's been high as hell. He said, in the 60s, we were high as hell. He said, but one of the greatest highs in life is helping people. And trust me, I've been high in every regard. But there's no high like giving someone something or putting them in position to be better and needing nothing from them other than them just to be great or better, for that matter. Or give them give them a chance. Some of us don't know how to get going, where to start. We don't have the right settings or people around, and become products of our environment at times, and that poses the question: is it nature or nurture? What's really in you is the gist of it.
Right.
And I know that hunters here, we talk a lot about various things, relationships, everything, and he's got a lot of good in him, and that's the one thing I've been betting on this whole time, which is why it makes sense. And I also don't trust nobody who don't like dogs, and this guy really loves dogs. He's got a patience about him that you go, what? I can work with this, and like I said, a team player. And if what we all need in any team is someone to really, come and hype me up, keep you hyped, but just be there for you. And you start learning a lot about yourself when you have a hunter and many others on the team, and you get to watch them do their thing. You get to add value, not take. So, what would be your best advice to someone who is looking to start something, maybe going through what you've been through, not having all the answers, but something happened to a family member, and they go like, boy, I'm about to take on this responsibility. Because here's the other thing. All that stuff that happened to his dad, he could have went and bit the bullet and went and got a job and said, I'm going to get some insurance, I'm going to support, do all this stuff. What did he do? He just grinded smarter and harder and continued to stay successful, in whatever that metric system looks like for him. So what would be your advice to those people who think they have to give up on their dreams to help someone who is now a part of their life in a way that they didn't ask for them to be?
One thing I would say, don't be afraid to be emotional. That's one thing us men lack, and I still learn from that every day to this day.
So our emotions come out in the wrong way, right?
Yeah, correct.
We only want to express anger and rage, but not love and fear and insecurities and uncertainty and even tears and all that other stuff that comes with being human.
No, correct. Most definitely. I guess most men think it makes you seem less masculine. And a lot of us don't have our fathers, so it's kind of I've seen it both sides. I've seen dogs come from being just raised by their mothers, and I've seen little boys just be on the soft side all the time.
Yeah.
So I've seen both ways. But no, I cried like a baby when I saw my dad being rolled in that hospital.
Oh, I bet. I think, I don't care who you are, anybody would probably do that. Yeah. Like, you just, because you don't want to see anybody you love suffer.
Not at all. But I made sure there was one of my girl best friends from high school. Her mom was there. And I want to say my aunt. I dropped to my knees, cried, and that's the last time I cried. If I cried again, it was in the car by myself, coming home from work or something. But that's one thing, I built a closer relationship with the gym. You know, music, headphones, weights in the dark.
Yeah.
And I was in crazy shape. But I locked in and it just allowed me to focus. And then also, the only time
so you redirected that pain then too.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely, you got to. You got to find something where you can lock in. And you know, I'm a big dude. I love contact, love to be physical.
Yeah.
That's why football was my life growing up. The gym is the closest thing for us.
Yeah. Get to get in and get beat up. Them weights is undefeated people.
Most definitely. And then I found a job I could work and be at the hospital all day during the day. And then while he's for sure going to be asleep, once he woke out of his coma, I would work at night. So I did security overnight at the strip club. Mm-hmm. You know, we fight there too. So there was another type of aggression you don't get in trouble for. But that's also how I made the connection to nightlife. Everybody was at that club.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, you know, this ain't no type of money, but I'm good right now because I have some people that are in my corner helping me out because my dad, that's my godparents, stepped back into my life and helped me tremendously. Love them to death. But that, I got to make a lot of connections working that nightlife. Mm-hmm. And that's something that blew me up to this day in that industry.
Ah, wow. One step, take another step, lead to another step, but you know, then it's like, damn, things are okay now.
Most definitely, man. And that's one thing, it's not all about what you know, it's about who you know.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I pride myself on. I know a lot of people that know a lot of stuff. And that know a lot of people.
And they always say your network is your net worth.
Mm-hmm.
So when you can reach to the stars, man, you know, somebody take you to the moon, you be like, damn, I didn't know we could go this far. They were like, bro, just stick with me.
I'll tell people call me nowadays and everything, bro, I'm trying to get on the security stuff. I'm saying, I can put you in the door. You're not going to start where I had to start, but you're not finna be where I'm at. Like, yeah. I didn't blow up till COVID. I've been doing security since 2013.
Wow.
So
what? So then tell them this too, because what happens is a lot of times, I told somebody this the other day, there are times in our life where we feel like we should be further along or farther ahead, right? Mm-hmm. But in retrospect, you're not prepared for that moment. And you might not be in a position to lead, have the patience, let alone the ability to manage others or yourself emotionally to really help people help themselves. So when someone comes in and says, you know what, I should be such, no, you shouldn't. Trust me. I thought I could do such at that time, but now when you get to the place where the things are happening the way they should, you go, man, I'm glad I went through those things because I needed to be better for this moment. I would have fucked things up, back then.
Mm-hmm. One thing I do, and it's pretty funny, I love going back to my memories on social media.
Yeah.
Because just like what you just said, like in that moment you think, damn, I should be there right now. Hell no. Was not ready, not prepared.
Oh,
and then it's just like every day you wake up, or I wake up, or anybody, and you said, damn, I'm right here in life. I was struggling this day. When I go back and look at that, I'm like, boy, I remember that day.
And the struggle, a lot of times people probably ain't even completely financial. It's more mentally, right?
Yes, but I definitely was financially. I ain't gonna lie. I tell people all the time, COVID was a blessing to me.
Yeah.
It sucks. It's confusing. Nobody really knows the truth about any of this shit.
What's happening?
But for us hustlers, grinders, entrepreneurs, blessing. Blessing.
Sets you up for the next 1,500 steps. You go, oh, that's what we doing. Bet. Let me learn a little bit more about myself and pour into myself a little bit more.
And one thing, when you get a taste of something you never had before, that automatically becomes the standard. You don't want to go below that.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I can't go below that. I got to keep going forward, going up. And that's one thing I hold myself to. And one thing I've always done too, I've never lived beyond my means,
Yeah.
I always say it's a want and a need. There's a lot of things I want. Every day I wake up and I be like, Hunt, you don't need a new truck, you don't need a chain, you don't need that.
Yeah.
I want it. But guess what? None of that stuff's going nowhere. We can get that in 5 to 10 years when it's, oh, that's it? Okay, babe.
And that's why having a plan and a vision is even more important because, like you said, you'll blink at those things when the time does come. And if you really want it, you'll learn very quick commodities, aka trash, as he said, chains, hats, clothes, all that shit's fucking worthless. Mm-hmm. But the moments that I've watched and been around him and many others, those moments are priceless. That moment, even in the reflection of the memory, you go, wow, man, I've come a long way.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely.
I've come a long way. That's worth more than anything I have to show for it today is the fact that I'm a better man than I was.
Right. You get 1% better every day. And I know since we've met, we've both excelled a lot.
Man, say. Man, say, bro. But that's the goal, though, right? The goal is to improve beyond a reasonable doubt. And I've got my own ways, I was talking to Ruben today, and one of the things I did at the APKC National when I shot, I charged my computer, and I put out a lot of stuff while I was at the show. One of the things I said is I got to get it done before this battery dies. I didn't bring my charger. So if the videos did not get done before that battery died, rendered out everything, basically I'd have some problems for myself, to say the least. So part of the speed component was challenging myself to do what nobody could do, as if I had a full production team. Right. But I always create these little small things. Let me see if I can do this. You know what I mean? Major Pain, what is he doing? Waiting to see if he can unload his gun for his nosebleed, hanging upside down.
Yep. And man, I remember we had a talk. People like us, people call them sharks, dogs, whatever you want to call them. We love that pressure.
I need it.
You need it. If we don't have our backs against the wall, it's kind of like, this is boring.
It's too boring because, you get good at things when you work as hard as we do at things. Mm-hmm. And I don't work stupid. So I'm always boosting efficiencies, processes, and effectiveness.
Right.
So you dead ass on that one, bro. I can't sugarcoat shit. I can't bullshit myself. And I get bored as fast as something starts. I'm like, this is too easy. This is too. I need. The Incredible Hulk movie. Oh boy, when they shot a bomb on me, he says, "Send me a real fight."
Yes, exactly.
This
is all you have.
Yeah, this is like, stop it. And I imagine, we're not gonna go down the Marvel road. I live there,
be there for days.
I'm trying to tell you, man. So another thing I want to touch on, man, is I know a lot of people that are young or younger go down the rabbit hole of relationships. We're going to jump into that just slightly. How have relationships affected your growth at times, and how has it benefited you as an individual who has, you basically kind of control your own destiny in terms of success, but we know some people get lost in that salsa trying to make somebody happy while that person ain't making you no fucking better.
Right. Yeah. I don't really come from a healthy relationship environment. With my parents, with people I just grew up with and everything. Mm-hmm. So one thing, I didn't do relationships in high school because I watched my friends go through stuff and I was like, hell no.
Ain't no way.
You want me to deal with that? Like, no. In high school, I made sure I talked to out-of-town girls. And I didn't have a car at the time either, so it was just like, shit, we can just communicate through phone or social media. That's like, see you at the party on the weekend type shit.
Yeah.
So all my relationships and situations, talkingships, whatever y'all want to call them. I guess they're learning experiences. I've really definitely tried to process in my mind. You don't take losses. It's not a loss. It's a lesson.
Yeah.
In playing sports, I used to always say that's fucking bullshit. A loss is fucking loss. We lost. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah.
So just trying to mature and grow up, I've tried to learn from that. It's difficult, man. Because being by myself for so long and I guess you get that selfish about you, it's hard to try to conquer for both of y'all. And I have to understand, like, I have my life, you have your life,
Well, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they come in and make your life their life.
Very true, and that's how I look at it too. And I'm just like, well, babe, you finna jump on this train and we going up here?
Yeah.
Hold on, we finna get up there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like when I see them lagging or dragging their feet or doing something, I'm like, what are you doing? You're slowing down the process. Like, what are you trying to do?
So then what's the number one asset a female needs to bring to your life on the road you're on as far as success is concerned?
After this last journey, it's finna get real picky. I mean, you've kind of talked about that a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm getting older. 28 on Thursday, finna be 30. Definitely want a 100 junior. Do I want one right now? No. But within the next 2 years, yes. But I want to make sure I got my new house, all the businesses are flourishing, success. Then I want it to be a planned birth. But got to find the right woman. So it's kind of like I need them to come in with some pressure. I'm tired of teaching. Am I perfect? No, but I'm always willing to learn. I need to learn more on that aspect.
Yeah.
Like I told you, the next time I do get in a relationship, right when the relationship starts, we're going to counseling.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like I still have a lot to learn on that aspect. Yeah. Do I know I can be a good husband, father to my child? Most definitely. Yeah. But I still have a lot to learn how to love and communicate and understand.
There you go. There you go. And it's crazy. I told him a guy I know, older cat, used to play for the Mavs. He did the same thing. You know, he said, I didn't know if I could be married. So I had to go personally be, and I didn't tell her. I think he said I didn't tell her. But he went to his own personal individual counseling because he too, I'm joking, this what, damn near 60 years old now. Mm-hmm. He too had trouble. Well, he didn't have trouble. He just never saw the relationship or a healthy one for that matter. So he's like, how I'm supposed to be something I never seen.
Right.
You know, let alone want the things that she wants and be considered in a way that she needs to be considered. Mm-hmm. And then you start bringing kids involved. That's a whole nother thing, bro.
Oh, most definitely. Mm-hmm. And I look at relationships like my wife, my girl, whatever she is at the time, that's a business partner. Uh-huh. So it's like if we don't see eye to eye on business, it's kind of like, what are we doing? You know? I always tell people this is not the 80s, the 90s. Life ain't cheap. The early 2000s, like, you need both a successful man and woman in the family nowadays.
For sure.
I'm not a scammer. I'm not an athlete, and I don't sell drugs. We might slang these dogs in a couple years, but still, like, you need to have a business because, I mean, what if I fall flat on my face? Mm-hmm. Yeah. What if I go down? What if I have a moment like my dad did? I need you to be successful. Man. I need you to know how to run the businesses.
That means she has to have the wherewithal, the capacity to be in a state of growth constantly. And some people, unfortunately, are reflections of poor choices and a lack of effort, especially when they get someone like a Hunter who's willing to go 2,000 miles an hour every day to get to where he wants to be. Mm-hmm. And then someone get him and be like, well, he gonna get us there. I don't need to do that much. Mm-hmm. That's a problem.
So real quick, on that note, what does that conversation look like up front? Or what are the questions are you asking up front? Because, I mean, that has to be addressed at some point. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, whether if you're looking for it or not.
I think one thing I definitely gonna do is bring that up in the talking stage, the early dating phase. Just like Trev says, you know, we can't be sugar or he ain't gonna do it. So like, you know, a lot of dudes, you go tell a girl what they want to hear. Yeah. So it's just like I said, I'm getting to that age. I done had my fun. You know? Yep. And I feel as a man that's focused and vision and is goal oriented, you can't be playing the field like that. Yep. So it's just like, okay, if you want to be in my lifestyle, this lifestyle ain't for everybody. Mm-hmm. So this is what you finna walk into. If you about it, come on.
Facts.
So I'm gonna be up front, you know, having my fun right now, enjoying myself. But next couple of weeks, next couple of months, finna be direct. If you hit me up, I'm gonna be like, hey, this is what it is. You ain't about this life. we can be cool. You can support me. I'll support whatever you do. Cool. Dap you up. Mm-hmm. Have a good life. But
that also mean, I'd imagine that means you're gonna put them in scenarios versus asking questions potentially.
Yeah. Most definitely. Mm-hmm. No, like I told you the other day. You need a dog sitter? Okay, we finna see. We finna see what you talking about. Cause I mean, I be on tour all the time. You know. Yeah. I ain't finna leave Pops with 5 dogs. He gonna be in there. Hey. So it's just like, okay, we gonna see what you want to do. Yeah. You see what you about, but. Yeah, scenarios most of the time because everybody can talk a good game. Like I said, everybody can wear a clown mask for so long, you know.
Hey, man, that's facts. And, you know, that's so funny because, you know, at one point when I was spending a lot of time with Trev, when I moved down here and lived with him for a year, you know, my old lady, she even noticed that I was talking different. And the things that I was talking to her about, she was like, I have no idea, because it was all business oriented and visionary and all this and that, and just looking at the bigger picture. And she just couldn't, she couldn't grasp it, but she was like, I'm about it though. So what did she started? She started reading more, started going down that road and trying to put herself in the position so she can understand how to communicate. Right. And, you know, go down that way. So, man, I completely get that, man. And that's what it's all about right there is, you know, you got to make sure you have that counterpart who's willing to go down that road, most importantly.
Correct. You got to find somebody that, like Trevor says, that has that dog in them. Yeah. Everybody can't be a leader or alpha, and a lot of people don't understand that.
Yeah. And you got to be, but, you know, on the back end, you could be proactive. Correct. And being proactive don't mean you got to be loud about it. Correct. Having somebody who have your back is just doing them, dotting them I's and crossing them T's sometimes.
The small things, man. Man, it like goes a long way. For instance, I have to give people, like, it's the hardest thing for my dad to sit there and watch me be the head of the household. Yeah. Mm-hmm. From him to go top dog alpha, and now I'm the top dog alpha. Yeah. You know, I come inside, the dishes are done. The dog's already been fed, let out. It's the small little things that just... Oh, I ain't got to do that, bet we can jump to task D. We already did A, B, and C. Let's jump to D. Let's keep this day rolling then.
Yes, sir.
And like he told, I said, hey, I appreciate you doing that. He said, I can't do much, but I'll help and do most of the little things that I can do. That's
Yeah.
all I need you to do.
Man,
Boom. That's it.
that is it. That dude, man, I'm telling you, I've seen a close friend of mine go through something very similar, unfortunately. And I tell you, man, when you watch a guy go from 0 to or 100 to 0, it is very discouraging to say the least, and it hurts. It hurts you to see some great people not be able to do things, but it's a blessing to have them around so they can keep doing things. If that makes sense.
Most definitely.
That's what's up, man. Well, I definitely want to cover some relationship, man. We talked a little bit about entrepreneurship, man. Just anything else you think they need to know, need to hear, man. I tell, as I said before, the grind life, you got a shirt on right now, says, nobody cares. Keep grinding. That is a true story, man.
No, most definitely. I hate excuses. We all have excuses. We all have a sad story. Yeah. Like I said, life don't stop. The grind don't stop. You gotta keep going. Overcome all adversity. That's one of my favorite things too, because I've been through a lot of adversity.
Yeah. And how much of it would you say is self-inflicted?
Most of it. Most of it, man. I mean, I don't sit there and look for a pity party from anybody, so it's just like I don't go around saying everything I've been through. But the people that have been in my life, or the people that I get close with, we build a relationship and we learn about each other, they hear about it. But just walk around and flaunting it, no. I tell people all the time, I'm blessed to be in the position. Do I deserve it? I would say I do. I've been through a lot, and I found a way to get out of every negative situation I was in.
Yeah.
And one thing I do believe is is good karma, bad karma. I tell a lot of people I make great money being a security guard. I shouldn't make this type of money. I mean, I should because, like I said, I deserved it. I earned it. But it's just I always find a way to open forward to somebody else that's in a position that can't be great. One thing I definitely do every year is a toy drive. This year I was too busy to do a toy drive. I couldn't orchestrate it. I usually throw a Christmas party. Everybody that comes donate a toy, and we donate it to a charity, or we find like a neighborhood Facebook page of struggling parents and have them come pick up the toys. Yeah. So this year instead, I donated to a family. I had people recommend somebody that recommended. I took her shopping. That was touching, man. I've only seen that stuff on like movies or celebrities do it. And man, it was very awkward. Just to sit there and go in the store and be like, hey, go get whatever you want. And she's kind of like, okay, this is awkward. I really appreciate it. And we talked for like about 2 hours. I brought my mom, she just moved back from Arkansas, so I brought her with me just so she could see how it was done, how I'm doing things out here. My mom follows me on social media. She has my notifications turned on. Like, that's my biggest fan right there. If I don't post, she'll call, hey, are you okay? Haven't seen you post today. And I'm just like, I'm fine, I'm chilling, I'm relaxing. But that was a great experience, man. To sit there and then she messaged me and then watching her kids open Christmas presents on Christmas Day, it was touching. I was that kid, when I got my Christmas money, I'm going to buy my brother and parents Christmas gifts. I'm not even using that money for me. Just always been a giving person. I like to see that reaction on people's face. That
says a lot about a person's character, nature, which is why we're sitting here. I cannot be around bad people, to say the least. It bring the devil out of me, and I know the devil's real. So guys like him continue to inspire me to be a better man, and even continue to pour into him and many others for that matter. Some of the stuff, when we say, hey, how much of our adversity was brought upon us? He made a statement earlier about being a little hard-headed. Those are the things we have to work through as well as men, because we don't know, and we don't have to learn the hard way all the time. We just have to do a little bit better. But sometimes you don't have better choices or better options. So my job is be me, is making sure I'm the fork in the road when they're not so sure about something. Because I know I didn't have nobody to call when I was younger, trying to make sense of things, but I knew what one bad decision could cost me because of the environment I was raised in. So now it's like, I can't do that because it'll get this result and that result, my life's over. Right. Literally over.
And that's one thing we learned growing up. We talked about the other day. I mean, you can go in multiple rooms and fit right in.
Oh, absolutely.
We can dap the brothers up in the hood, and we can go shake the CEO's hand. We good anywhere.
I've been there, and probably gonna be there a few more times. So I'm glad that you've taken, we'll just say, initiative in your own life to make your life, and not be discouraged and being an individual, which is very important in the time and world we live in. You got to know who you are. And I mean, you got to figure it out. That mean you got to go through something, because how you gonna identify with what you like, what you don't like, who you gonna be, how you gonna respond to things if you don't challenge yourself. And I challenge myself every day to be a better man, a better human being. Man come with it, because that's what I am first and foremost, and that in itself carries its own burdens. So, humanity, be human people. For now, you got anything else to say, man?
No, man. No. Actually, you know what? I do have one thing. One thing you did touch on earlier was emotion. About, man needs to learn how to be more emotional, right? And I know that's something I've always struggled with, growing up, because I grew up without my father.
Right.
So, that's one thing I do is I try to pour into my son as much emotion, to let him know that I care, all that kind of stuff. What is probably one, do you think that stimulates from your dad? Was there like a major emotional moment that you all had with one another growing up before his accident that really made you, showed you that this is okay to, shed some tears or express myself in this way?
Not really, man. That was probably the moment.
Okay.
When I just sit there and told myself, it's okay to cry.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of my tears and stuff growing up was either being punished or anger. I was one of those kids, like, I get so angry I start crying and shaking. So that's what it was just like. It was in football too. I made a bad play. I start crying. I'm finna knock your head off. Like, stay away from me.
Yeah.
But no, it's okay to cry, man. I used to be that kid. I hate funerals.
Yeah.
I don't like to go to them because I don't like seeing other people hurt.
Yeah.
And, as I got older and started having to go to more funerals and stuff, I cry because I see somebody else crying. Because I'm just like, man, they're going through that.
Yeah.
What can I do to make them feel better? That's what I'm thinking,
Yeah.
The whole time laying my dad there, it's kind of like, well, like you said, nobody else was there. I had no choice but to help my dad.
Yeah.
Like I said, I could have walked away. I could have gave the excuse, like, I can't see him like that.
Yeah.
Got to man up, He was a Mufasa, I was Simba. He raised me to be prepared for that situation. So, the emotion thing, man, I've kind of started learning on my own, but it's very difficult. And I seen him maybe cry twice growing up. When he wrecked my grandpa's truck and when my grandma died.
Oh, wow.
Those 2 times, that's it.
So was he one that really was very internal with his emotions?
Yeah. And that's all, man. We're all internal. We keep everything inside, That's why we walk around pissed off most of the time. And that's why we stay in that gym or something just to exert that energy, that anger, man.
Yeah. Makes sense.
And that's one thing we try to find things we're passionate about and put all of our passion, our drive, and our energy into that because it's like, it's our scapegoat, our getaway.
Yeah.
I'd rather be the gym, the dogs and everything than drugs and liquor and stuff like that where a lot of people find their self-centered.
Yeah, man.
Well, that's that right there, man. We again appreciate you stopping by. As I said, he's here for the long road with us, the long haul. He's a kennel partner. He's a friend. He comes to the rescue when we need help. He's gonna be around. You're gonna see more of him. He's gonna get an amazing dog out of this litter, and we got a lot more magic stuff happening and taking place. So stay tuned. Again, solutions, not tips, people. We're giving you the tools you need to be better people. And as always, good luck.
Yes, sir.
She said the puppy died.
Huh?
It died. It's okay.
Wait, what?
The puppy died.
That puppy died?
Yeah.